Today I fucked up by calling the police on somebody. So, I was in my bedroom and I was just chilling, and from my window, I can see a person who was shouting for some reason, so I decided to ignore it because occurrences like these are not that uncommon. A few minutes go by and again I hear him scream. This time he was holding something that looked like a knife, and on top of that it looked like he was shouting at somebody in the house, and this is when I started getting concerned, as I thought that maybe he was going to hurt this other person. So I immediately called the police, and not too long after, a few police vehicles showed up. They then proceeded to go to the guy's house. A few moments later the police came to doorstep and told me what actually happened. Turns out the guy was just having gamer rage and was lashing out, and that knife was just a soft toy. And that other person? There was no other person in the house. I feel really bad now, but at least it wasn't anything life-threatening. Too long didn't read, called the cops on a potentially dangerous individual, but turns out to be a case of gamer rage. There's a lot of reasons calling the police on somebody else should make the caller feel bad, but this isn't one of them. You had no way to know they weren't raging and threatening a child or other defenseless person, so calling the police was the right call. On top of that, he's probably going to think twice before flipping a tit over video games again. Better than ignoring. My mom's neighbor ignored her calls for help when she was drugged and trying to get home. She woke up on her patio all bloody. Disgusting to hear the lady next door heard but didn't bother to do anything. People can be awful. Small towns have nice people, they say. Well, not what I've experienced. Ha 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 ha. Sometimes it is better to overreact than to do nothing. Plus now you have a good story to tell when people ask why your neighbor hates you. That other person that wasn't in the house is dead in the basement. My neighbor once called the police because my apartment door was slightly ajar all morning and she thought somebody had broken in. The real reason was that I had just come home late at night, sober, and tried to close the door as silently as possible and probably didn't close it right. I woke up to a policeman knocking on my bedroom door. I sleep mostly naked. In the end, it could all be cleared up with a small conversation, and I now always have a funny and slightly embarrassing story to tell. So no harm done and no ill feelings for my neighbor. I completely understand and appreciate her concern. Your neighbor may end up laughing about it, too, in time. Today I fucked up by asking if the carpets match the drapes. So in my first year of university, college for my American friends, I am 18, got involved physically with a friend F23. Now I am not a native English speaker and she was quite aware of this as she was very English. I speak English as a native speaker though, so I should have known better. As a prelude to us going out the one evening, we were invited over to one of her friend's apartments for some pre-drinks. As I stepped through the door I had noticed that her carpet was grey and her curtains were blue. And I in my years of wisdom asked why the curtains don't match the drapes, and a very shocked FWB in her friends looked at me and asked me if I knew what that meant. I very sheepishly questioned whether or not it means literally if the carpet on the floor matches the drapes on the window. I was then subjected to several minutes of raucous laughter from her friends and quite a fun evening afterwards. TL, doctor, took a saying about hair and pubic hair color a little too literally, but later saw that the curtains did in fact match the drapes. Edit, spelling error. Even in the literal sense that you meant it, that's still a weird question to ask. Sometimes you get the response no carpet, hardwood floors. ATBH, I don't really mind what I find downstairs on a girlfriend/FWB. Doesn't sound like you fucked up. Sounds like you fucked. Doesn't matter, had sex. This guy fucks. Today I fucked up by updating my digital sign. Among my many responsibilities is the regular updating of our digital road sign, a huge, 2-panel LED display that provides information for our community. We recently upgraded the controller and software so that it has some new features, one of which is enhanced text overlays on the pictures. I should also mention that the sign itself is not visible from my office as it is located at the far end of the parking lot. I was experimenting with using the sign and opened up the editor. The default picture was a woman in a beach chair, white bikini, and white straw hat sipping a drink. I added a new text box, which has the default text. Double-click me to edit. I double-clicked the text box and started to edit but got distracted by a couple of issues that arose. Somehow I managed to leave "lick me" as the text and, not fully understanding the new controls, pushed it out to the sign. Too long didn't read. For 6 hours our electronic sign out front showed a picture of a woman in a bikini with the text "lick me." FML. I think that op meant to post this in "Today I excelled." Today I won. Next time this happens just moo and I will go stand in front of it so no one sees. Slow clap. Swear to folks it was hacked. So not "lick me" to edit, which is still a hysterical 6 hours of signage. Surprised a pic didn't show up on here or Twitter. I don't know what's more humorous, the sign or the fact no one noticed it for 6 hours.